Welcome, everybody, to Catfish Weekly, presented by Whisker Wear Apparel, along with Doc Lang. I'm Lyle Soaks, and welcome to the show. Doc, we got a bunch of stuff to go over tonight. I know you've got a ton. I've got a bunch. And a little later on the show, Leslie Kirkpatrick Finney is going to join us on the show. George Young was supposed to be here tonight, and he got tied up at work and couldn't make it, so Leslie's good enough to come in and visit with us a little bit about the Mississippi River Monsters Tournament coming up. And I know you and I are both wound about this. Can't wait to get there.
Yeah, and it's still a ways off.
Yeah, it is. But it is, it Monsters on the Ohio and Winter Blues on Wheeler. And for me, the Brunswick Wildcat Tournament, the Jack and Jill. We got a whole ton of stuff coming up. And most all of them are qualifying events for the national tournament coming up next year, and man, it's going to be a big year for the sport of catfishing.
Yeah, yes, it is.
So, before we get too wound up, I know you got a bunch of stuff to go over about the tournament that you guys had this weekend, the Cancer Sucks tournament for Bink. You want to start in and go over some of that stuff?
I can do that.
All right.
In fact, the banner that has flown behind me for almost 3 months, Janet and Bink have that now. What was kind of cool is we come up with the idea that when the anglers registered, we handed them a pin and asked them to sign the banner. So that banner has got signatures all over it.
That's awesome.
From all the anglers. So just to kind of recap, what went on is Saturday, April 15th, we had a catfish benefit. The anglers were paying $30 a person to get into it. They were all fishing for nothing but plaques. They knew that right up front. And you can really see how tight a catfish community is. I was a little bit overwhelmed when I got up to do the meeting, and when I was able to look out and see how many people was actually standing out there. But we had the rules meeting, and originally, here's my goals. This is what I wanted to have happen. And I wanted to, I've got this stuff wrote down. I don't want to forget it. Originally, I wanted 40 boats. I wanted 100 anglers, and I wanted to try to raise $5,000. Well, what it came down to is we had 62 boats. We had 137 anglers, and we raised $10,725.
That's outstanding.
That was just unreal. And then to add to that, Teresa Sheltman, she had a bake sale, and she sold $700. Pies, cupcakes, cookies. There was all kinds of, there was hot dogs, there was pulled pork. So that's probably one of the biggest bake sales anybody's ever had. And when you can turn $700, that's a big bake sale.
Well, the sad part about the bake sale is I got none of it.
You got none of it.
And nobody in the world likes to eat more than me. But
I don't know.
That's outstanding.
I'm running a pretty close second.
$700 in a bake sale is a lot of dough. Now it had to be some really good stuff.
Yeah, and I can't thank the anglers enough for what they did and for everybody that was involved with this thing. I've been involved with it for 3 months. Lynn and I have been working on this for almost solid all the time for 3 months. And this past weekend, it really showed. My wife has got some organizational skills that are unreal. Because we had a lot of stuff to give away, and I knew I had to get through that weigh-in and then hand out the awards and then hand out all the sponsor donated stuff. Well, we had a total of like 76 raffled prizes that we had. But involved with that 76 raffled prizes, most of the stuff had 4 or 5 additional items attached to it. So we had a lot of stuff, and after the fishermen, took off at 8 o'clock, Janet let go balloons to honor Bink, and then I hit the horn, and 62 boats had a shotgun start, and those guys went flying up the river and down the river. And then, we kind of sat down and relaxed, and it wasn't very long. And then Lynn kind of called everybody together, and those women started sorting through that stuff. And she had it down. She had a number assigned to everything. And then when I went to go, I was pulling the tickets during the raffle, and I'd look down at the thing and I could read off what was being donated. And as soon as somebody said there's a winner, I handed it to a lady that was right beside me. I handed her the ticket, and I was pulling another ticket and getting ready to call another number. So everything went like clockwork. And there was several people that helped. My wife Lynn, Daniel Vance, Reed Vance, Skylar Vance, Stacy Smith, that's Willie's wife. Dave Hart. Dave got me the microphone. He was my stager. So when the boats would pull up, Dave would tell them to stop so that they were staged. And then Daniel and his boy would put the tubs up. The anglers would put the fish in. They'd bring them to Vince Nodosky, who was my weighmaster. They put those fish in. Those fish from the boat to the water was probably a little less than 4 to 5 minutes. The bigger fish took a little bit longer time because we wanted to get pictures of them. And then Dave provided the microphone. Tommy Long, he was my traffic coordinator. He was trying to keep everybody coordinated, getting in and out of the ramps. David McCoy and his wife, he was helping Dave Hart. There was a couple from Huntsville, Ohio that spent the entire day with us, and I never wrote their name down, and I feel terrible because I cannot remember what their name was. But they helped us from beginning to end, and we started at 4:30 in the morning, and I think it ended at about 7:30 that night, 7 o'clock, somewhere in that area is when, by the time we got everything packed up. My grandson Josh, him and the guy from Huntsville, they were shuffling fish back and forth to the river. And as a backup, I wasn't sure about the electric and stuff like that. So Chris Sodders, he brought us a generator. He brought the tubs, and we had a backup weigh scale. So it went clockwork, and I appreciate everybody doing it with helping us. It was awesome. I know Bink was both Bink and Janet were really humbled, and I was pretty proud that we made as much money as we did. It was a lot of hard work, and a lot of people, really worked hard at it. I appreciate the donors. The donors were just unreal. They just gave us stuff. Even that morning, Lynn had to redo her list because people were coming up and giving us stuff that they wanted to donate. So that was really cool.
It is, and Doc, we've talked about this before. I've been involved over the years with a lot of groups, whether it be shooting trap or racing cars or team pinning when Marky, with my youngest son, was a big team pinner, whatever it was. And it was all a good bunch of people, but I've never seen anything like this catfishing community.
Yeah, they are a very tight-knit group, and when somebody needs help, they do not hesitate in stepping up.
That's right. And it shows. And this is
Yeah,
just one example. This is just one example. These things happen yearly, and it seems like every time that somebody really needs something, the whole family and I consider a huge percentage of these people part of our fishing family. They're always there for the guy. A lot of times they know the person from fishing around them with them or something, but so many of these people have never met these people, and they just
right.
do
They
what they
step
have to
forward.
do.
Yeah, they step
That's
up.
right.
Tangling with catfish, Jerry Klein, those guys had that big
Absolutely.
down there at the catfish conference. They gave
Yep.
Janet and Bink a lot of money from there. But
Yep.
I'll
Yeah,
get. Go ahead.
Jerry went out of his way, spent time with us. It's hard to get Jerry Klein Jr. on a camera. It really is. He kind of
Yeah,
avoids me
you
like the
don't.
plague. He's a great guy, and everybody involved with Tangling with Catfish jumped up, done an outstanding job at that catfish conference. They come over, they all got on, or surrounded our little area there where we was doing our show, and made it happen. And they done a big deal for Janet and Bink down there, and you know that speaks volumes when somebody does something like that. I mean, it really does. They're just outstanding people, and Jerry, of course, is affiliated with a couple of really good friends of mine, Bill Parfit and Jason Rath, and I think the world of those guys. And Joe Lucky, his brother, and his dad, Jerry Klein. There's never finer people I've ever met in my life. So I know that Jerry fits right in there with them. But I talked to him a lot down there, and he done a really cool thing for him.
Yep. So I'll go over the winners, and I got a little bit more information, and then I'll be done. So in first place was the team of Bob and R.J. Kemp, 103.4 pounds. They had a big fish of a 48.5-pound blue, and they checked that fish in at 11:40 in the morning.
That's a
And
giant over there.
And then went out and caught some more really nice flatheads. And RJ, he caught all the fish. Bob said he never caught a fish. He netted every fish that came to the boat. So
Good for him.
in second place, Justin and Danny Connor and Tabitha Linville, 79.5 pounds, and that is only with 3 fish.
That was big old flatheads.
They had 3 flatheads. Third place, Mike and Chris Gross and Jack Hatfield, 69.9 pounds.
Great.
Fourth place, Mike Paul and Chris Watson, 63.1 pounds. And in fifth place, Vic and Linda Shepard, 61.2 pounds. And those 5 teams are now qualified for the 2018 Catfish Weekly National Championships.
And I have been in contact with some of those people today. So
okay.
It's posted up. We now have 84 team or individuals qualified for the national championship, including the people that you just named off, and people are getting wound up about it.
And I want to thank Jason and Chrissy Stanfield because they paid the entry fee for this to be a qualifying event. And I think they were going to fish the tournament, but they hit something on the river and took the motor right off the transom.
Oh,
so man. So Jason said, I went over and talked to him a few times. He goes, "This is killing me to sit here watching this." So I said, "Yeah, I know what you mean." So we had 137 anglers, and we had a total of 952.7 pounds of fish. There was 11 blues, 16 channels, and 36 flats.
Wow.
So And the only bad part was on Monday, the river was at 24 foot. On Saturday, the river was at 16, and they just kept continually started. They just kept dropping it. And it's always hard to catch a fish on a dropping river, but it went from 24 to 16 feet in 5 days.
That's a pretty quick drop.
Yeah, that's a pretty quick drop. So, okay. So I'm done with that.
Well, you know, we would have really liked to make it over there to that. Things just didn't work out to where we could. And I know everybody had a great time. I was kind of bumming about it, but I got to spend the day yesterday with my sister that we don't get to spend near enough time with. So I was pretty happy with that. But, you know, that is for a great event. And I know that Janet and Bink will cherish that banner for a long time to come. And it was a great deal that you guys done, and kudos to you and Lynn and everybody involved with that for putting on such a great tournament. It's just outstanding. You know, it's just really cool. I want to go over a couple things, Doc, but while we're waiting for Leslie to get here.
Okay.
Catfish Weekly takes on sponsorship so we can fund what we do, whether it be buying gas to events or whether we go someplace and put on live shows, because to date we haven't charged for any of that stuff. And we are able to do that through our sponsorship partners. And Rob Clodfelder with Whiskerware Apparel has just been, from the beginning, one of the greatest sponsors anybody could ever have, and we appreciate him so much. But we have others like Driftmaster and Survivor Unit. Robert sends us stuff, and we have giveaways and different things, and he's just such a good guy. And there's a lot of others. You know, I'm not going to go through everybody here, because without going to the website and looking, I can't remember them all. But for years, I have kept my rigs.
Probably about like me.
Well, I've showed this before, but for years I have put all of my pre-tied rigs in this bag. And and I've took leaves out of this bag because I keep it so full. When you tie them up and you put them in those snack baggies and keep them in here, I thought there was no better way to do that for a long time. I have found something, and it's not new. This company has been on the market for a long time. It's called Rig Wraps. And I know Justin and Tabitha and several other people have been involved with them. I contacted them the other day about becoming a sponsor on the show, and they got on board with us and sent me a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm telling you, these are the stuff. Very easy to use, very easy to fill. They're compact. You can get a bag to put them in. They can sell you a bag to keep your rigs in. They have some of the neatest stuff you ever want to see, like these, for multiple things. Now, to me, this is the perfect thing to tie up some 9 or 10-aught Gamakatsu big river hooks for your bumping rigs. Mm-hmm. You know, that's just out of the way. You know, it's just really cool. This one here is one that I was really impressed with. I've got line everywhere. This thing here will hold 3 of the orange and 6 of the yellow ones, and it's got suction cups on it, so you can stick it down to your boat, and it'll be right there if you break off one. If you're drifting, you're going to break off some stuff. That's just the way it is. Or if you have the tube gunnels up on top of every deal, you can Velcro it right to them. It'll stay right there at your hand all the time. Or you can, like I say, you can put them in a box or a backpack. You can get a box from them. We're very happy that these guys have joined us. They sent us a bunch of stuff, and we're going to be doing giveaways with Rig Wrap products. I think that everybody will enjoy them. I cannot imagine anybody not wanting to be more organized, and this is how you get more organized with if you pre-tie your rigs. There's nothing that I can say that's more organized than these units. They are outstanding product, and we're very happy to have them on board with us. So be staying tuned, because we're going to be giving away a bunch of their products here on Catfish Weekly. We want to thank them for everything that they do for the sport, but especially for what they're doing for us.
Yeah, Claude got a hold of them and got a bunch of them for Binks.
Oh, they're a cool product. They really are. Now, we've been talking about whisker stick lights for a long time. And you done a test on yours where it lasted, I forgot how many hours that thing
It was
run.
like 550, something like
and
that.
it still wasn't dead.
No.
And for the guys that have forgot, this is what they are: whisker stick lights. This is a blue one, comes with the battery, comes with the wire tie, so you can tie it on anything. Well, Tim is such a great guy. He knew we was doing some giveaways and stuff, so he sent me these. And we're going to give these away. Now, we're not going to give all this stuff away at once, but we're going to we got a bunch of stuff to share with our viewers from
we're
sponsors.
Going to stretch it out.
That's right. We're going to have something every week for a while. Sponsors is what allows us to be able to do that. And, you know, Rob has give us shirts to give away. Driftmaster has give us rod holders. All of the companies that we deal with have give us stuff to give away on the show. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about rig wraps was I've seen these, and I told you about them the other day. These are ceramic scissors, and they're designed to cut fishing line with. I don't know how well you can see on this camera, but one blade, if you can see, it has a serrated edge on it.
Okay.
If I can hold it still. The other blade is smooth, and they're very quick, easy. You can cut any size monofilament you want that fast. And I have cut up to 100-pound braid on it that fast. And I got a piece off of a reel the other day because I didn't have any 100-pound left. And I'm about a foot. And I just went down through there chopping it just in little bitty pieces about a half-inch long. And it never misses a beat. It never folds between the blades. If you fish and you have problems keeping on to your, well, fingernail clippers don't cut braid worth a darn anyhow. But if you have problems cutting braid or keeping something in your boat that's sharp enough to cut it, get a hold of the guys at Rig Wraps. You've got to have one of these. If you're retying rigs, as I do all the time, this is the neatest thing I have ever seen in my life. I've been wanting to get some. Every time I go to do it, something comes up and I forget to do it. I'm not able to do it or whatever. But they are amazing. Very fast, very easy to do. We're going to do some reviews on their products and stuff and put them up in video, so you guys be watching for that. But we've got a bunch of that kind of stuff that we're going to be working on this summer, so it's going to be a really cool deal. But check these guys out. You're going to like their stuff. Of course, we already know about the whisker stips, and we love their stuff. It's just amazing. I actually am going to do one of the giveaways on one of those deals, and I'm going to tie up some rigs. And I'm going to tell, I get calls and messages from guys that have hooks all the time. And I've tried every hook that I've ever seen, and I always go back to my Eagle Claw 2022s and 197s. And I use the big Gamakatsu Big River game hooks and 9 and 10 aught for bumping, because when they grab that, I won't be able to try to rip her head off. And I have seen some good hooks on the market. But one of the big reasons why I use Eagle Claw is because they're American made. Another reason is I don't have any trouble with them. If I don't have any trouble with something, it's hard to change my mind. Now, I had 4 or 5 guys in the last 2 weeks contact me about doing reviews on their hooks. Boys, I promise you, if you send us some hooks, we will do an honest review on your product. If it's a great product, we're going to tell people it's a great product. If it's an okay product, that it's going to be that way. I'm not going to tell people that it's a great product if I don't think it is. But if you think you have a good product and you want your name brought out there in a review, we'll be more than happy to do it. I can't think of anything except a couple of the really cheap stuff that they sold on eBay a few years ago, that half of the hooks was bent over on the ends, and if you caught anything on them, they either broke the ends of them off. And I know Gamakatsu had a problem a few years ago with breaking some of their circle hooks, but I believe they have that fixed right now. But anything like that you want to do a review on, we'll be thrilled to do it for you, and it will be an honest thing. So if you've got a good product, there's nothing to worry about. We'll fix you up. Tell everybody that watches about it and go from there, because that is the only way that I know of that we can be honest with everybody. Because if I'm not going to brag on somebody's stuff if I'm not familiar with it, if I don't know about it. That's like the slime line we done here a while back. Tony Caton sent me that spool of that stuff, and he knew that I didn't use monofilament to fish with. But that is some good stuff. I mean, that is some really good quality stuff. It stays snelled on my hooks. Very low memory. I'm impressed with the low memory part of it as much as anything. But it's super strong. Test way over the rated value of the line. So, and that's how we told people about it. It was just that way, and that's an honest opinion, and that's the way we will always do things. So any of you guys want some stuff tested, get a hold of us. We'll let you know. Doc, it's going to be a few minutes before Leslie gets in here. I don't know how awful long she'll be, but she shouldn't be too long. I've got a bunch of stuff to go over.
Hey, send me the list, the people that are eligible.
I will do that. Well, you can discuss and cuss about something else. Talk about Janet if you want to. Her and them Reds are beating the heck out of my Cardinals this year.
Yeah, we're in first and you're in last.
Yeah, and I don't like it. I'm just going to tell you straight up, I don't like it.
Yeah, let's see who's in the chat. Oh, there's Keith Smart. Let's see, Chad's in there. Mike Old Man Catfish is in there.
He's in about every week.
Yeah, Darren Mudge is in there. There's somebody called Catfish Weekly in there. Oh, I guess that's you, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad Cox, Keith Smart, Daniel Kennedy. Hey, buddy, what's going on? Mudbun Media. What's happening, Lyle and Doc?
Ain't that cool?
Catfish Stalker Outdoors. So that's who's in our chat right now. We got 38 people tuning in to us. So let's see what else we got here.
You should have a list in your messages, Doc.
Okay, got it.
And the best I could count before we started the show, there's 96 people that has signed up for this giveaway for the spot 100 in the Mississippi River Monsters Tournament. You know, we was talking about sponsors, and George got this ball rolling on this, and for us advertising some stuff for him, and of course we're going to talk about his. He donated to us to give away spot 100, and for those of you that haven't figured out, we're also going to be giving away spot 100 in Monsters on the Ohio in a few weeks. George was going to be here tonight. He got called into work. Then things happen. Everybody understands work. You got to take care of your job. Aaron Wheatley will be on the show with us the night that we give away the Monsters on the Ohio giveaway. It'll be another big deal. And when we post this thing up here probably in the next few days, please get in early. You guys like to kill this old man trying to keep up with them entries on the last day today. That's all I done all afternoon was enter people's entries into this. Everybody to be on there. We tried to get everybody. I think we've got everybody that sent their information in. Please go to Mississippi River Monsters Facebook page. Like it. Thank them for what they do. This is a great tournament to be, and everybody wants to be at it. George and Leslie put in countless hours putting this thing together. So it's really, really neat of them to help us give away this entry.
All right. So I've got him in there. So
okay, good deal. Good deal. I'd like to wait for Leslie, but we know she had a little bit of issues with her computer. So if she doesn't make it here in a little bit, then we'll go ahead and do it anyhow, because that's somebody's going to win a $250 entry fee to the Mississippi River Monsters tonight.
Yep.
And, you know, I wish it could be me, but me and you are going to be in it anyhow.
Yeah. We've already got ours in and paid for. I think we're boat number 80.
80. Last year I sent it in right off the bat. We was what, 10th or 12th or something?
Yeah, something.
Got her in early last year, and thought they was going to do that, but and I do understand now the fact that they're using a couple of different ramps, and you have to figure out how to organize 200 or near 200 boats to go out. So I do understand why they changed some of the stuff and getting them out, and it really worked out good for us because you and I found fish and we didn't really travel that far.
No, right.
We didn't. Now some of them,
and I about lost my rod. I'm real close to losing a rod.
We had such a great time down there. It was really out. That, you know, that people don't realize that was the first time that you and I had ever been in a boat together.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
it was the first time I'd ever run a Minn Kota.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd never run a Minn Kota before. I'm used to having a Rodan, and there's a whole lot less buttons on that thing than what's on that Minn Kota.
You know, we talked about me having this shoulder surgery for the last several months, and you can tell it's been quite the deal. But every day I feel improvement, and I have for some time. So I won't be so sore this time. I won't be able to help you because by the time that tournament comes around this year, it's never going to be 100%, but it's going to be a lot better than it was last year because it just hurt. Looky here. Here's Leslie.
There she is.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. Hello.
Who you got with you?
This is Alicia. We're the behind-the-scenes girls from Mississippi River Monsters Catfish Tournament and Angler Roundup.
Well, you know,
okay.
We was talking the other day, and George works extremely hard to put this tournament on, but most people have no idea how much behind-the-scene work is actually done, and you guys are the one that do it.
You know, I would say that we do our fair share.
Yeah, I know for a fact that you do. But before we get into that, I know that you guys and Bill hosted the Mud Bums down there this weekend. I know that was a blast, but I can't imagine that there's anybody that watches Catfish Weekly that does not want to know how Mr. Dance is doing.
How Mr. Dance what?
How he's doing.
Oh, he's great. He is going nonstop. He's doing 26 original freshwater shows a year. It's 13 original saltwater shows. He spent the month of March basically in Florida filming freshwater nonstop, 12-hour days. And he was in the office today, and he leaves first thing in the morning from Springfield, top of the rock, the PGA tournament. He'll be there for 3 days, comes back for a couple of days, and then he's on the road to do saltwater.
And I don't know how he does it. He does more stuff, and he's a couple years older than I am, and I don't know how he gets so much stuff done. He's just in the world of fishing, he's just Bill Dance. That's all you can say about it.
Yes, he's Bill Dance. He's Uncle Billy, really.
Yeah, he is Uncle Billy to you. Leslie, I tell you, I do not understand every time I see him, and he doesn't see me that often, and I can't even imagine him even remembering who I am. But every time he sees me, he remembers my name, walks up to me, just like we're old buddies. It's the most amazing thing for a man that sees as many people a year as he does. I don't believe he ever forgets anybody or anything.
Phenomenal memory, absolutely. And I think I've told
really
you before, he'll run into someone and they'll say, you know what, I was fishing close by and I met you, Ross Barnett, 1973, you know, he'll rattle it all off. We were sitting right by the ramp, you know, and I'm like.
Amazing man. He is one of the greatest things, if not the greatest thing that ever happened to the sport of fishing. And I've watched him since I was very young, back before there was cable TV and satellite dishes. You wait on Saturday mornings to get to watch Bill Dance fish, you know, and that in itself is something that's quite interesting. So we're all very proud that he has become part of the catfishing world as well as the bass world. But I'm pretty sure that Mr. Dance will fish for anything that swims in the water.
Pretty much would be correct.
You know, George and I had talked quite a bit, and I understand him having to work and get past. You have to do what you got to do. But we worked out this deal to give away spot 100 for the Mississippi River Monsters Tournament. And we want to give it away, and we want you guys to be a part of that. That's why we wanted George or you or somebody to be on the show with us, because this a spot to this tournament's a pretty good deal. I mean, it's a big thing. You know, to me, it's a huge deal. You know, and we wanted you guys to be in here, and that way, you know, when it's done, you'll know who's going to get it, and you guys can figure out how to get it to them, and all the stuff. So, Doc, are you ready?
I am ready, sir.
Okay. Now, Leslie, what we're going to do is there's a program called random.org, and it randomizes the 96 or how many, I think that's what the number is, how many people have sent in that they want to try a chance to win this. And Doc is going to run that program, and he's going to tell us how he's going to do it and how we're going to pick the winner.
Okay, so I've got the 96 names that are in there that Lyle had sent me. And because this is going to be Monsters on the Mississippi, this is the second tournament, I'm going to do it 2 times. And whoever that person is on the second time will be our winner. So is everybody ready?
You bet.
Here we go. And there's 1. And there's 2. And the winner is Rose Thompson.
Woohoo.
ROSETHOMPSON.
Her and Hugh run the Mississippi Catfish Trail in the state of Mississippi. They have sent me information on tournaments that they had over the weekend, points list for the people that are trying to qualify for the national championship. So congratulations, Rose. You are the winner. Now, Leslie, do you have any idea how Rose is to get a hold of you?
Yes, if she would email me or reach out on Facebook on the Mississippi River Monsters Facebook page, or she can email me.
That's cool. That's outstanding, and I you know, she can contact me. I visit with her and Hugh quite a little bit.
She's online.
She's on the show.
Yeah, it says Darlene Thompson.
I don't know if that may be her. I'm not sure. Rose is all I know her by. So, but I know that that's Hugh's wife, and good people. They got all kinds of stuff going on down there with this new startup trail, Mississippi River, down in the state of Mississippi, and they fish all over the place, but they fish with Joey Pounders and a bunch of them guys. So David Magnus fishes their tournament. So, oh, that's her. Yeah, she said, "Congratulations, Rose."
I was gonna say, somebody doing a woohoo and thank you guys.
Yeah, I would be if it was me. I'll guarantee you, I'd be jumping up and down. It's kind of like me watching this Cardinal game. If they score, I'm liable to go wild here now. So, Leslie, now that we've given away spot 100, what have you got coming up for the tournament that you can share with us? Anything new going on?
Well, I can just give some current stats.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming everyone knows when it's going to be held and where. Do I need?
Well, you might want to go over that just to make sure.
Well, it's going to be held in Memphis, September 15th and 16th at the Bass Pro Shops Pyramid. Launch is right by there. Weigh-in will be in front of the pyramid. We'll have a live feed, compliments of Alicia here, and we have 51 sponsors set up as of today, on board, committed. Many of those will have booths for our angler roundup in front of the pyramid, which will take place in the front portion of the parking lot, right directly in front of the pyramid to the left. Anyway, and we are expecting at least, the 200 boat maximum.
You are going to cap it at 200 boats?
We are, yeah.
Okay.
we had 184 registered boats last year, and the launch went smoothly, but we think that 200 would be a good number for us. And for those that are watching or going to watch this later, a few things have been tweaked, so it'll be even smoother than it was last year, the weighing process, award ceremony. Yeah.
It ran pretty smooth last year for the first year.
It really was. It's I've never seen anything run any smoother for the first time out of the box.
Well, that is because of Georgia, not because of us. Yes. Georgia's an expert and told us what to do and told everyone where to be.
And you got to watch that, Leslie. He'll swell up like a toad frog, man.
I know. Hey, can I give a shout out real quick?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, this weekend, you're correct. A few of the mud bumps came in town, and we connected with Uncle Billy, and we all hung out and went over some things, for the tournament in September. The mud bums are coming, to film an episode there during the show, and as well as having a booth. They're bringing their Gator Tracks boat, their custom boat. They're bringing a large amount of their crew. But I want to give a shout out to Crash, our main man. Hey! We had a great time with them. I'm telling you, you just can't get better people. You cannot.
We spent some time with them. Doc and I did down at the Catfish conference. Great group of guys, very conservation minded. They do a lot of different kinds of fishing, but they're respectful to the fish, the water, and the conservation end of it. We had a blast. We had Crash and Willie on the show with us. 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Outstanding guys. They're just so pleasant to visit with, and it's when we met those guys down there. And Doc and I have talked about this before. When we met them down there, we really didn't know what to expect, and they was just like the kid next door you grew up with. Every one of them. There's not a more pleasant bunch of guys to be around anywhere. They're really cool guys, and they're full of fun and piss and vinegar, whatever you want to call it. They're just great people. We have a blast with them.
Yeah, they're good. I just had to tell you that because he was texting me prior to us logging on and sending me videos and being silly.
Well, we had like I say, we had Crash and we had Willie on, and we're going to try to get a show set up with some of the other guys that couldn't get off work or was tied up doing other things, and we'll do that at a later date. But they're really cool guys. They do things for the right reasons, and they don't do things for the wrong reasons, and that's what makes them so special. And like I say, as far as I'm concerned, they have become great friends to us. And then they also have brought Chuck Breedlove on, and Boomer Wilson, and I just think the world of both those guys. And I know Doc does. Chuck, he fishes against him a lot. They get everybody involved. They put the right people in the right place.
True.
Well, that's really good. I'm glad that we've got all this stuff going ahead. Lori Dorschner says, "Hey, Leslie and Alicia."
Hey, Lori. Hey, she's our Wisconsin girl. She was part of the mother-daughter team, the only female.
Absolutely. That was the first tournament that I've ever seen a all-woman team, a major tournament. Mm-hmm. First major tournament I ever seen an all-woman team. I was so impressed with them. No whining, no complaining. Just get out there and do what they got to do. Just like they're not new at it. They're old pros. Now I had them set up to do a show, and something come up, and they couldn't get it done. And I talked to them down at the conference, and we are going to get them on. I just have to figure out a date where I can have them on the show that works for them, because that's one of the issues. There's a couple of things that really cause us problems on Catfish Weekly. Number one is having a date open that we don't have somebody scheduled. And number two is them having an internet connection or a way to come on the show. And you went through a little of that tonight, so they can be live with us on the show, because people don't. Well, we've done phone interviews before, and our ratings dropped 50%. On phone conversations versus video conversations. So we want to keep them, but they're great girls, and we're going to get them on the show and talk about that because father-daughter, father-son, husband and wife teams has really come a long way in the last few years. But to my knowledge, they're the only mother-daughter team, and then we have Risha and Jessica that is sisters, which is they're really doing well too. But a mother and daughter team to come down from, where is it they come from? Minnesota, Wisconsin? Yeah, way up north, to come down to Memphis and just jump out on that 7-mile-an-hour current on that Mississippi River now. There's a lot of guys that didn't want no part of that. They didn't bother them at all.
That's right. Yeah, they're awesome. And they come into and visit us, and they bring us right.
They bring any cheese?
They do. They bring cheese.
I bet so. Oh, that's outstanding. Well, listen, I appreciate you ladies coming on the show with us tonight and sharing some of the new stuff coming up. And I'm glad that you all had a really good time with the Mud Bums down there. I know it was outstanding. George and I are supposed to get together this summer. Cindy and I are supposed to make a trip to Memphis down there, and I hope to get with you guys while we're down there and set up some stuff. I had talked to him, and I'm sure he hasn't told you this because he didn't tell you anything. Last year we done our show in the pyramid, 2 of them, and we had a little issue with background noise down there. And if we can figure out how to do Catfish Weekly outside of that pyramid, I'd like to try to do that. Now, I don't know if we can make that happen with extension cords and all the stuff it requires us to do that. But I think there'd be less background noise outside actually than there was inside, because when Bill Dance and Jeff Dodd and some of them guys are around down there and everybody wants to see them, we had a big crowd down there of people talking and stuff, and it was really hard to hear because the microphones pick up so much stuff. So that's something that we might try to figure out when we make it down there. But we're coming. Cindy and I are coming down there to fish. I'm just going to tell you right now.
And them stupid ducks were nipping at my heels.
The doc was worried about them swimming ducks in that pond behind us. I don't think they'd have bothered him at all, but boy, he sure didn't like them back there.
Yeah, they just kept sneaking up on me. It might have been because I saw them alligators on the other side.
I'm hoping while we're down there we can run into Jeff Dodd. Him and I have talked about doing a couple of little projects together. And, I love old Bill Dance. I really do. But Jeff Dodd's my hero.
Hey, we love Big Daddy.
Everybody loves Big Daddy. He's awesome, man.
Yep.
He really is. We've had him on the show with us before. We had him on down there at Memphis, and what a great guy, full of knowledge and just more fun than the world should allow. But, actually him and I have talked about doing a lot of stuff, and we haven't got to put together everything. But hopefully this year we're going to get some of that stuff done. We got more projects in the works, and if we can make it all happen, it's really going to be a lot of fun. But we are coming down there to go fishing. That's plain and simple.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're going to work out some other stuff while we're there, so it'll be a lot of fun. And been trying to get Angela Herndon to do a little short video with us about the motel down there. We stay at a lot of motels all over, and we go to a lot of tournaments all over the United States. And I got to tell you, Angela Herndon is one of the greatest hosts that a motel could ever have.
She is. She's a great girl.
She is. She does an outstanding job, and she works so hard to make sure everybody had whatever they wanted. And I'm excited to get back down there and stay with them guys. That it's just a great place to stay. And I seen that Ron Presley done a little video with Nona, the lady from the kitchen the other day, Doc. I don't know if you caught that or not, but get up way early in the morning and fix us stuff to take out in the boat with us. And then people don't have to do that. They just do it because that's the way they are. And
she had them bags ready for us.
Yes, she did. She sure did. But we can't wait to get to Memphis. That's just it's going to be a blast.
Big. I mean, it's last year we had over 80,000 in cash and prizes, and it's going to be even bigger this year. And for it to the second year is shocking to us, and the support that we've gotten from everyone. And I just love how catfishermen want to all pull together and make this big.
That's right.
Successful.
It's a great community of people that we have, Leslie and Alicia, and we are glad to be a part of it, and hopefully we can be for years to come, because these people are the greatest that I've ever been involved with, and they stand up and do the right stuff. Now we have issues from time to time with some of us, but we're all like that in anything you do. But the catfishing world is an amazing bunch of people. At this point in my life, I wouldn't want to spend my spare time with anybody other than the people that we fish with at tournaments. And I've said this before: if we wasn't able to fish Mississippi River Monsters or Monsters on the Ohio, and we was able to go, we go just to be there, whether we was fishing or not, because the people are so great. We always look forward to seeing them.
It is. It's good. We've got a lot of more content going up on Facebook in the near future that's going to have an overview of all of the prizes and a breakdown of everything pretty soon. The past several months we've spent kind of nailing down everything, getting a good plan, getting everyone on board, kind of seeing where we're at. And that this is our part-time job. So,
right.
Everyone's got full-time jobs, and sometimes full-time plus a little more. So,
right.
We're doing as much as we can, as fast as we can. But there will be some, announcements and posts coming up that'll kind of give an overview.
You can't do it all at once. You got to drag it out so people keep their interest up.
Oh, is that what it is? That's what I meant to say.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and a little incentive for people to go ahead and register now instead of waiting. The first 110 boats that are registered go into a drawing to win a fishing trip to the event. And, the only time that he does this is typically for, St. Jude, or Make-A-Wish, or, it's got to be, because he's so busy. But he's in catfishing and wants this tournament to be successful, and he plans on being there. I mean, like he was last year, that entire week he went out on different boats and went out with media and, with Vicky and, he made himself available and then is there throughout the entire, he fishes it, but he's also there doing meet and greets and the captain's meeting. He stays almost to the award ceremony, I think.
Now, is Bill going to fish the tournament this year?
He is. I'm not sure but he is. He'll be the third.
I figured that he probably would, and that's why I asked George first if Bill was going to take spot 100, because if he was, I was not going to say, "Oh no, I want Bill to have whatever Bill wants."
No. But he can be one of them.
But he just does so much for all of us, and Bill's not a kid anymore.
Well, don't tell him, okay? Because he's still going 90 to me.
I know.
I mean, it's amazing. He's my uncle, and he's quite a bit older than me, and he runs circles with me. Man is no.
Yep.
And
he's just a super guy.
It.
And there's a lot of people that in the fishing world that we all look up to. I know that him and Jimmy Houston and some of them guys are pretty good buddies, been around each other since the 60s or early 60s. But even those guys have to sit back and look at Bill Dance and say, man, look what this guy has done.
Well, they don't tell us
just,
and it might be because
no, I'm sure they don't.
He calls Roland Morgan, and he tells that grown men shouldn't wear bangs. So
now let me ask you a question. You may or may not know the answer to this, but there for a while they was working on a project with Roland Martin and Jimmy Houston and Bill doing a show, and they've done a couple or three of them. And I just wonder if their schedules conflicted enough that they couldn't manage, because, man, that was hilarious. They was out on that saltwater trip, and, man, it was funny and Bill, he'd sit there and make fun of them two guys. And it was hilarious. Great show.
We were just with them in Houston at the Bassmaster Classic, and there was a Bass Pro VIP trekker thing, and so it was kind of a small little get together, and that Friday night, and that's what they do. They pick on each other. They're like little 10 and 12-year-old boys picking on each other. So they really are. They're like family to each other.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. I would love to be around those. Being around those three would be like Jeff Dodd and Swamp and some of them guys all at the same time. Well, being around Jeff Dodd and the Massengill brothers at the same time would be nearly as funny, I'd have to think, because those guys are a hoot now.
But pretty much just being around Jeff Dodd is a hoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. He's just he's loving life every minute of it.
Yep. Yeah.
He really is. Well, Leslie, Alicia, thank you, ladies, for coming on here and taking George's place. We'll get George another time and get him set up on the show and go over some stuff. I know that there's going to be a bunch of new things coming on, and if there is anything that we can help you with on Catfish Weekly, please do not hesitate to let us know. Like I say, Doc and I are anxious to get down there. We got our butts kind of handed to us last year, and Cindy was embarrassed. She said she'd never fish with me down there again, but I'm hoping she'll change her mind because, we really didn't put on a very good show, so we've got some retribution to make when we get down there.
Well, bring it on. I say everybody check it out on Facebook or MississippiRiverMonsters.com, and come down or just visit or stop. Or we're going to have music, and, the big stage set up, the mud ones. We're going to have the Oakley sisters, GTO fishing, and Bill Dance.
If there's anybody that's in the catfishing world, they'll be there.
Yeah.
They sure will. Well, thanks. Doc, have you got anything you want to visit with the girls about?
Nope, I'm good. Nice seeing you again, Leslie.
You too. Thank you.
All right, ladies, thanks so much for joining us tonight on the show. We
Thank you so
appreciate it a
much.
great deal. And we will be talking to you, I'm sure, a few times between now and then.
Okay, that's the deal. Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Thank you. Those gals do so much for so little. Like she said, they both have regular jobs. They work every day. Nobody has a clue, for the most part, how much work they put in and how much they do for George. And George knows how much they do for George.
Yeah.
But those jobs are thankless jobs that nobody ever hears anything about. But they work really hard. And I talk to Leslie every once in a while, and I'm sure you do, information and put things together, and anything I can do, they know I'd be glad to help them with anything. They're really good people, and they work really hard to make that Mississippi River Monsters tournament what it is. What have you got for stuff to upcoming tournaments and results, Doc?
I don't have anything.
Well,
I've got.
How about if I go?
Well, let me jump in here. On the 29th, I'm looking at the calendar right now. On the 29th of this month, April, Tri-State Tournament, Vince Nadowski. That's out of Tanner's Creek. I believe that is a qualifier for the 2018 Catfish Weekly National Championship.
It is. That's always a good show out there from what I've always been told. I never have had the opportunity to make it, but I understand everybody has a great time out there, and I hope they all get on a bunch of good fish.
Yep. So that's happening on the 29th of April.
I'm going to go through what I have in the order I have it, and it's in no particular order, so don't think that it is, but today's been kind of hectic for me, so I'm just going to go down through here. Like I said, right now we have 84 anglers qualified for the Catfish Weekly National Championship to be held in May of 2018, and we got a lot of tournaments coming up. North Carolina Cats is having a tournament April 22nd at High Rock, North Carolina. $80 entry fee, $20 plus $20 for big fish. I can't read my writing. Looks like a 3-fish limit. 100% payout. Contact Kevin Custer on Facebook, or you can call him at 704-682-3617. Last weekend, Saturday night, they held the first tournament at Call Point. The big fish of this tournament paid $280. And Bill Emery and Derek Allen got first place with that I didn't write down. Sorry, I didn't write down the weight. It's paid them $773. Justin Thornton, my buddy Justin, and Wayne Buckridge, second place, $515. Marty Darr, Clint Gisling, another couple of good guys I know. $300 for third. No, that's just third place. I'm sorry. Fourth was Ryan Guffey and John Bergland. And fifth place was Justin Eastwood and Joshua Brockover. I don't know who, I thought I wrote down who got big fish of that, but evidently I didn't. But anyhow, big fish paid $280, so that's pretty good deal. Yadkin Master Catters. Am I saying that right, Doc?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. They're out east there. They sent me the results from their Friday tournament. Team Lambert won $500 for first place. Team Swan had 80, and they had 91 pounds. Team Swan got second place with 89.2 pounds, pretty close weigh-ins. $300. Third place was Cat Baby, 89 pounds. Man, them are close. $200. Fourth place weighed in with 88.4 pounds. Team Brown, and fifth place was Team F&F with 76.4 pounds. Man, that is way close weigh-ins there. And Team Lucky Strike with big fish of 45 pounds paid them $400. So that's a pretty good deal. Now, Rose Thompson sent us a message, or she won the trip. As of today, the people that are leading the points in the Mississippi Catfish Trail is Dylan Wanstedt and Doug Vander. I can't, Vander something. They have 100 points. Jay Gallup and Wesley Box is at 99 points. Michael Haney and Rodney Krim is at 99 points. Drew Cook and Derek Crushing with 98 points. Adam Long and David Magnus at 97 points. Bubba Cook and Ryan Cook at 97 points. And at 93 points, Sam Shields and Buck Wheelis. So those guys are the top. That's the top 5 teams that in points, and they're doing their Catfish Weekly points deal through the end of that. I think they're only having like 4 tournaments. So Monsters on the Res results for the Mississippi Catfish Trail from last weekend: Douglas Vanderford, Adam Corey Eubanks, 37.5 pounds. Michael Haney and Randy Krim, 28.77 pounds. Drew Cook, Derek Cushing, 28.75. Bubba Cook and Ryan Cook, 23.2 pounds. And John Howard, 13.9 pounds. And there's your results from that tournament. Well, it wasn't as much as I thought I had. It seemed like a lot. I know that I was very happy to see Justin Thornton and them guys jump in there, and Clint Grisling and all them guys. That was the first tournament that they'd held up there in Kansas City at the Call Point deal this year. They've got some other tournaments coming up, and 2 of those will be qualifiers for the national championship. So we want to make sure that everybody jumps in and gets up there. We need to support these new tournaments as much as we do the old tournaments. Guys, it's been around a long time. These guys are working really, really hard setting up these tournaments so everybody's got a place to fish, so you don't have to travel a long ways or trying to get the biggest payout they can. A lot of these guys are paying out 100% Therefore, they're doing this free. And if they do them close to their home, that's one thing. But if they have to travel and buy motel rooms and all this other stuff, it's nearly impossible to do that stuff for free. So you guys be understanding and appreciate the fact and thank them for what they do. You have no idea how far that goes when somebody's doing a tournament like that and putting this stuff on for you and not getting anything out of it or very little. So bear that in mind when you show up to these tournaments and try to support them guys.
Looks like there's
what else do we have tonight?
Looks like there's an ICAT tournament at Keokuk, Iowa, April 30th. And there's where I saw All-American Catfish Tournament, Hillsdale Lake. Where's that at?
Hillsdale Lake, I'm not sure.
May 6th. Come back to me, Tim. Tell me where that's at.
That tournament up in Keokuk for ICATs will be a great tournament. Be outstanding.
Thank you, Tim. It's in Kansas, wow.
Oh, in Kansas. Okay, yeah. You guys need to make sure I get this stuff and stay up to date on it. Twisted Cat Outdoors has got a tournament May 20th in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. That'll be a really, really good tournament down there on the Mississippi River. They have some other tournaments coming up. If I can get back over here to them. Of course, the Brunswick Wildcat Tournament's coming up August 5th. The Jack and Jill Tournament in Canton, Missouri, one of my favorite events. You must have at least one male, one female in the boat. 3 people can be in the boat, but at least one male, one female. Canton, Missouri, June 18th coming up. Big fun in that tournament. Couple years ago, Cindy and I happened to do really well in it. Jason and Vicky Mathena got second in it 1 year. Jason Burgess, Troy Hansen, Amy Smith won it 1 year. That's just it's a lot of fun. The Battle at Burlington's coming up. If I could get to that, I could give you a date on that. That's in Burlington, Iowa.
Twisted Cats on May 7th, Burlington.
That sounds right. Then May 7th at Burlington, Iowa, that'll be a big feed. Unless somebody gets on a flathead, it'll be a channel cat tournament. They got some great channel cats up there. So want to make sure that you get in on some of that action. I love those channel cat tournaments. It's where a lot of times them weigh-ins are in ounces from first to how many ever places that you want to go. So it's a lot of fun fishing them things and enjoy, of course, the Mississippi River up there. It's a little calmer up that way than it is down around Memphis, Doc.
Yeah, there's a Clinton Lake Catfish Tournament Series, Clinton Lake, Illinois, May 6th, June 3rd, July 1st, August 12th, September 23rd, all 6 to 1 a.m. Thank you from the Teen Cat Addicts via Facebook.
Cool deal.
Chad Henson posted that. April 29th, I know here in Ohio, that's Dana Jackson. He runs a cat chaser event. And it was supposed to be at Paint Creek, but I think they flipped it to Logan. I didn't get a confirmation on it, but that's here in Ohio. It's a really good tournament series.
That's outstanding. There's some more tournaments coming up out in the Kansas area. I know I don't have the information, and I write it down, and I got so much stuff on my desk, it ends up getting lost or misplaced or whatever. But there's some tournaments coming up on Milford Lake. There all kinds of stuff coming up. So you guys try to get this stuff to us so we can announce this, so we can help you get the biggest turnout that you can stand at these tournaments, because we want everybody to do good.
Yeah,
everybody wants to fish cat.
If you can get it to us, right here on the chat or someplace like that. I mean, we stay pretty busy trying to keep up with all this.
We do, but if you can send them to us, you can message either one of us on Facebook. You can also send the message to Catfish Weekly on Facebook, or email us at catfishweeklytv@gmail.com. I will get that stuff. I'm not sure if you have access to the to the that email account or not, Doc. But if not, we can set it up. So, but any of you guys throughout the United States, if you're having catfish tournaments and you want us to tell people about it on the show, all you have to do is let us know. We'll be happy to do it. But we just have so much going on during the show. We can't go through Facebook or any of that stuff and try to figure out where they're all at. But if you will send them and get it to us, we'll make sure everybody knows about it.
Yeah, because at times there's, we need to jump in there and do some fill-in stuff.
Right.
And that's the kind of stuff that we can do the fill-in stuff for.
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you, Doc, before you get on your tip for the night, I can't wait to get this deal wrapped up, because I'm going to snell up some knots, and I'm going to some of these hooks, and I'm going to snell them up in 2 or 3 different ways, so people have options. They can look at them and see which way that they like, or maybe they don't like either one of them. And then we're going to give one of them boxes away, and that's going to be really neat. We'll probably throw a whisker stick in there with it. Thing to do, but be watching our Facebook page, because we'll be posting the stuff on how we're going to do the Monsters on the Ohio giveaway. It'll also be for Spot 100, and you don't want to miss that either. 2 of the biggest tournaments in the nation. If you have any inclination that you want to go to Monsters on the Ohio and you don't want to pay the entry fee, this is one way to get it.
Yes, it is.
What do you got for a tip of the week tonight, Doc?
Doc's tip for the week. Keep knives on the front and the back of the boat. You don't ever know when you're going to have to cut an anchor or cut something out of your way, get something out of your prop. I heard people talk. Yeah, I heard people talking about several different things getting hung on their boats. So always keep a knife in the front and then one in the back. You never know when you got to use one. So, and that Doc
sharp does do no good if it's dull. If it's
dull, it's not going to do you any good. You might as well use a stick. So that Doc's tip for the night.
That's a great tip. We keep one of the things that Ray Stitcher sent me a knife a couple years ago, and he I forgot where he told me he got it, but it has a handle on it, and it dips down like that, and it's very sharp, but a lot of it is serrated. Those blades will go through stuff really, really quick.
Yeah, real fast.
They don't dull up. Doesn't seem to me like they dull up as much. But this one has the handle comes out like this, and it kind of goes down like that. I think he got it, whatever that place is that's Buy Bass Pro at some of the stores. I forgot where he got it. But anyhow, he sent one to me, and it works very well for filleting off sides of fish. But there's nothing that'll go through anchor ropes or cast net ropes. If you get one hung and it gets tangled in your leg, first you want to grab that thing and whack it, get you out of danger, and those things will go through ropes really, really quick. Not only they make good bait knives, they might save your life. So make sure that you guys have that. Do you have any information on if you have to qualify for the Bellows Catfish tournaments or only to be a member to fish? Chad, I do not know if they're, as far as I know, you have to fish some of their tournaments and you have to be a member of their deal. But Doc, do you know any more about that?
No, because I'm not fishing them this year.
Okay. Thank you, Justin. I had forgot about that. Justin Wolf reminded me that this week on Wheeler Lake, Saturday, them boys from the Sea Arc tournament will be knocking it out. There's a bunch of guys down there right now that are pre-fishing for the tournament this Saturday. So if you guys are on the line about fishing the Sea Arc Invitational and you own a Sea Arc boat, I would recommend that you get a hold of somebody and get entered in that thing, because they're going to do battle Saturday morning.
Yes, they are.
There's a lot of people down there.
Yeah. I don't remember what the last count. I thought it was like 137 boats. I remember.
It's a lot. It's way over 100.
Yeah. Yeah, and Justin, Dexter knives.
Yep.
That's what I use to cut my skipjack with. It's like a serrated, looks like a serrated bread knife. I got it from bottom dwellers, and I got that several years ago, and I have never, I don't know what the knife was when I cut that anchor loose on the Mississippi, Lyle, but as soon as it touched, oh, buddy, I didn't even have to saw it or nothing. It seemed like as soon as I touched it, it was gone.
But now we did have some pressure on that rope.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit.
When you got the front of that monster cat pulling down, trying to break an anchor loose, and it's going down, it's time to cut something, because that boat don't go down very fast in the front. It really stays right up there.
Yeah,
but that knife, it went right through it just like it was cutting hot butter.
Yep.
Sure did. Well, great show tonight, Doc. Want to thank everybody for watching. Stay tuned next week. I got my calendar. I found it, Doc.
Uh-oh. All right.
Next week, Chris Souders is going to join us, and we're going to talk about bait tanks, how to keep bait fish alive in your boat, how to keep them alive at your home. Ought to make a great show.
Yes, it will.
Chris is extremely knowledgeable about this. He's been on the show before, and I think that it'll be a lot of fun. We got a message here. Hi, sirs. What do you think about Brazil? I think I'd like to go down there and catch me some red tails. Them red tail catfish are beautiful. Man, I'd love to go down there and catch some of them. Johnny said he had to pay his membership fee and then had to pay his entry fee for the tournament. That sounds right, but I think you do have to fish one or two of their tournaments or a qualifier that they support to be entered in that tournament. So check with Jeremy Coe. He can tell you all about that. Jim says he could go for them red tails too. I'm telling you, man, them are some awesome looking fish. I'd love to do that sometime. Thanks everybody for watching. See you next week on Catfish Weekly.